And what a time to be alive, generally speaking. Incredible things going on, incredible scenes going on in the Portuguese parliament, in Portuguese politics, and generally speaking. So we've got quite the smattering of Portuguese news stories to share with you this morning. We've got Captain Kaza joining us at 8:40, Chinese Terry, aka Captain Kaza, to you and me on the internet, to Renaissance man and artist Terence Austin joining us at 8:40. And before that, at 8:20, we've got the Portugueser washing his dirty linen in public if all goes according to plan and it's not raining in his part of Portugal this morning. So before we get there, also unexpectedly, but quite rightly, Sarah Davey from Spartan FX will be joining us for an extra moment of currency awareness. That is the politically correct term for looking at the exchange rates. Currency awareness training at around 9 o'clock this morning. So I better send her the link. Bear with me, otherwise she'll be panicking if I don't send her the link, trying to get into the show at around 9 this morning. So there we go. Yes, she joins us later at 9. Portuguese are at 8:20. And Captain Kaza at 8:20. How are you doing this morning? Do let me know. Coach Turner was in at just after, just a minute ago. Normally he's in a bit earlier than this. Bom dia todos. Maybe he's tired after training. Back home today with light training. Later this afternoon and coaching this evening. Have a great day. You too, Coach. Thank you very much. Bom dia Portugal. I must get that latest video up as well. Bom dia Portugal from João Ernesto. And the dollar is not so healthy right now. Wonder why that is. Bon dia Gumpers from Jackie. And apparently if you hit the like button, if you smash the like button, it gives you free sweets. Well, at least sometimes. It's worth trying, isn't it? Bon dia Carl and Gumpers. A Werther pops out. A soggy Werther that's been in an old gentleman's cardigan for a few weeks pops out. Oh, that's not going to encourage you to hit the like button, is it? Bon dia Carl. Or a nice trousered mint. Bon dia Carl and Gumpers from another dry, sunny Belfast. Decent 6 degrees, but it'll be a stunning 11 degrees. Sadly, last night, sadly, last nice day, but come on, we need some commas and full stops in here, Deagle. Sadly, last nice day, but 12 degrees, dry mostly, sunny days, been like a holiday, rainy weekend for St. Patrick's. St. Patrick's is coming up, and we've got a comedian for you. They're doing a St. Paddy's Day special at the Prohibition Bar, and the comedian who's performing there as part of that evening will be joining us on the show as well. Fingers crossed. Bon dia from Pam too, and Mike and Karen also here from Miranda de Corva. And of course, that reminds me, we'll have our beloved Portuguese teacher with us tomorrow morning. Philomena will be with us tomorrow morning for the whole show. Get your Portuguese language and culture questions in. Now, she also joins us on the Expats Portugal webinar first Thursday. This Thursday, today, over at Expats Portugal tonight at 7:30. I think you'll want to see this, unless you've figured this out. And not many people have when they're new to this culture, and then they're new to that phenomenon you're seeing there. We don't want any of that. Thank you very much. Home sweet home then tonight at 7:30. Or is it a home sweet home, or is it humidity, mold, growth, ventilation, or thermal comfort issues? And we're not talking about underwear. We're talking about the home here, the thermal comfort issues. Latent conditions in your Portuguese house and how to correct them the right way. How about that tonight at 7:30? If you're not already a member at Expats Portugal, and you want to join up and be there and ask questions of our speaker, sign up at expatsportugal.com. Quote GMP at the checkout to get 10% off. There you go. A Bon Dia Daily deal for you right there. But that's going to be an interesting one tonight. And, of course, published on the Expats Portugal YouTube channel Sunday at 6 o'clock as well. And the Dream Team, the town hall tonight at 9 o'clock, between 9 and 10. So I'll be in the company of Gilda for the second time this week tonight from 9 until 10 on the town hall, and Nuno and possibly Daniel. I think Daniel will want to be there, because what we'll do now is we'll move on to Portuguese politics. And I don't know how much of a deep dive we're going to have into any of these particular news articles this morning. It's a very interesting time in Portuguese politics. Yes, third election due in 3 years. It's getting like Italy here. Talking of Italy earlier on. So let's bring onto the screen the homepage, the electronic front page of the Portugal Resident, and see what they're saying about this over there. And of course, shush, don't mention the rare earth minerals here in Portugal, because you know what happens if you've got rare earth minerals. Strange things can happen to your country. We should perhaps keep that quiet. On the front page of the Portugal Resident here then, Portugal's political crisis blamed on high-end immigration. I'm going to come back to that because arguably we are the sort of people, the majority of people who watch the Good Morning Portugal show are what might be called high-end immigration. And I mean that as a compliment. It's not a reference to your posterior, not high end in that sense. High end immigration, and the UK Telegraph has been sticking its hooter into our affairs over here. Let's for hooters and high ends this morning on the Good Morning Portugal show, and just some of the other leading articles here. And Ines, the editor, Ines Lopes, has stepped in alongside Natasha to give this plenty of coverage. I see political instability could disrupt Portugal's stable economy, say bankers. Well, no, Sherlock. 3 elections in 3 years is not the best signal to send out to the rest of the world, is it, in terms of stability? However, the possibly outgoing prime minister, I think that's likely, isn't it? No reason for alarm, in quotes, over country's financial economic situation, says the PM, currently the PM, whilst Attorney General opens a case. Oh, hold on a minute. I think I'll show you the front page as well, so you can read along with me. Here we go. There you go. That's what I meant to show you. Oh, apart from the pop-up ad, let's get rid of the pop-up ad for a moment. Best places to invest in 2025. Ooh. Right. Attorney General opens investigation into PM's family business. He doesn't look happy about. He doesn't look happy about it there, does he? That's Amadeo Guerra, the warrior, Portugal's new Attorney General, seemingly up against the same outside pressures that dogged his predecessor. Really? Family business at the heart of Portugal's political crisis. Oh, what have Temu got for me this morning? A nice pink jumpsuit. Yes, it's probably only 6 inches high as well. Okay, let's go back to that front page then and see what's what, because I want to have a look at this high-end. I see, yes, high-end immigration, somebody standing on a mountain, obviously. Is he a high-end immigrant, I wonder, the chap in the picture? UK Telegraph paints Shager as party behind the crisis. I'm sure Shager have some involvement in destabilizing things at the moment, but I guess you could call democracy as well. While in Portugal, the media sees the political crisis as one centered on the Prime Minister's possible conflicts of interest. Abroad, interpretations are very different. Indeed, the UK's Telegraph carries a story today headlined, Western Europe's poorest country. What? Western Europe's poorest is really? We've got the Iberian miracle going on with Spain, and inflation is down. And we are still described here as Western Europe's poorest country, probably by some measures we perhaps are, is about to oust its, and with the emphasis on Western Europe, is about to oust its government over immigration and appears to blame an influx of digital nomads. Yes, as soon as they opened up their laptops in the cafe and didn't focus on their coffee and lunch, we knew there was going to be trouble. For driving up living costs, I was behaving like a digital nomad myself yesterday on the coach. Actually, let me just come back to this. Very nice going to Lisbon. There are a lot of people there, though, aren't there? It gets quite scary with all those people. I've got very used to living in the countryside here. But who should I bump into but Gastão from my town in the Orient, or in the Vasco da Gama shopping centre, with all those thousands of people? I bump into somebody I know from San Martino de Porto, and he utters those immortal words. And what's the best thing about Lisbon, Gastão? The road back to San Martino de Porto. A taxi driver said that to me about 7 years ago. I think it must be a San Martino de Porto thing. I love the airport. There I am at Starbucks, having the cheapest coffee they do. Not because I'm a cheapskate, because I actually don't want plant oils and stuff inside, or seed oils are they, inside my coffee, and funny flavors and stuff. So a tall Americano, 310. That's not too bad at an airport, is it? And on the way to the airport, look, on the metro, there are pianos that people can play. Isn't that wonderful? I like what they've done there, how they've written piano in black and white keys. So all in all, it was nice to be in the hubbub of the city, but glad to be home now. And I took a little bit of video for you to give you a sense of the buzz at Orient. Check this out, and we'll come back to the news in just a moment. Love the architecture of Orient. And it was great also to pick up my hire car from Zest. Love working with Zest and Rent Auto. Good deals, and not to push you on the upsell of the insurance, and to see my old mate Vashko, who I used to meet a lot. It was great to see him. I haven't seen him for years, and there he was at Rent Auto. Lovely to see you, Vashko. Oh, and whilst I remember, good friends, Kimberly, happy birthday to you. Kimberly, of course, Kimberly Cooklin, wife of Phil Cooklin, of course. Kimberly, happy birthday to you. I think are you making a week of it or a year of it? But very happy birthday to you, Kimberly. Many happy returns, Parabéns. And to Hugh, it was Hugh's birthday yesterday. Hugh in Visu, it was your birthday yesterday, as you probably know, Hugh. Others not so much. All wishing you here a very happy birthday, Kimberly and Hugh. Parabéns. Right. Starbucks. Look, I was charging my phone, okay? And the coffee wasn't too bad, to be fair. I didn't go for the, is it called a cold press, cold brew? I mean, that's the problem. It's paralysis by analysis. And I did notice some of the cakes were like $4.95 for a piece of chocolate cake. But there I was, got the cheapest coffee, paid for with my small change. Carlos on my label. I didn't say my name was Maria or anything like that, as some people do when they're naughty in Starbucks. I just had a nice Americano. It was all right. And I did charge up my phone, and I was able to sit there and enjoy the atmosphere of Lisbon Airport. I really like Lisbon Airport. It was lovely. And seeing all the people, meeting people, it's so wonderful. Anyway, back to Portugal's political crisis. UK's Telegraph seems to be blaming the influx of digital nomads for driving up living costs and fueling the far right. I don't think this is the thing, isn't it, about the news? When you actually live somewhere where about which there is a news story, you think, well, I don't recognize that. But there you go. That's how it works. The paper has correctly alluded to the increase in the number of foreigners living in Portugal, explaining that it has doubled in 5 years, hitting a record 1 million in 2023. Oh, Portuguese is getting ready. Has he got a bag of laundry with him? He's definitely airing his smalls, I think, in central Portugal. Let's see in a moment. Yes, the population has doubled in 5 years, hitting a record 1 million in 2023. But it's contention, and this is the UK Telegraph, Tony, but it's contention that this wave of well-heeled immigrants has sparked a backlash that is the cause of these elections. It does not resonate with the national narrative. I haven't heard that whatsoever. And this is what happens, isn't it? When a few facts get whipped up into a theory, the UK Telegraph, thinking that the wave of well-heeled immigrants has sparked a public backlash. Hooey! Hogwash, nonsense. Let's wash that nonsense right out of our hair, as it were, at the village laundry when we join the Portuguese in just a moment. The trouble, I don't think you wash yourself. I think you just wash your laundry there. That's the idea. But we'll find out how these places work that you'll have driven past in central Portugal when the Portuguese joins us. The trouble with these kinds of headlines in the much wider media is that they will ultimately contribute to a lack of confidence, trust by investors, which is what the top men in the country's banks are worried about. There we go. And that was that other story, isn't it? Political instability could disrupt Portugal's stable economy, say bankers here in Portugal. And I won't tell you what Bobby O'Reilly said when I was discussing this with him. He was quite openly expletive about the situation. We don't need that at the moment, a third election right now, do we? What with that and everything else. Bon de Alegria from Stockholm says, Anna, good to see you there. Sweden, Portugal. Snow on the streets here again this morning. The weather has improved here in Portugal. It's not raining on the Portuguese. He hasn't got his guarda-chuva up, or he's just walking funny there. He is at the village laundry. We'll join you in about 5 minutes, Tony. Get your smalls ready. Morning all. Sleep patterns are still a bit flimsy, but great to see everyone and nice to be back home. Peter, you were not in the Far East. You were away filming again, and I've got the evidence here to prove it. Pete goes off filming on Portuguese TV, and I was surprised to see him in the local cafe. There he is. Who's the girl, Peter? In the picture there. What's this show? It's on Sick Noticias. No, Sick Noticias is the newspaper, isn't it? Sick, I don't know. A Sick TV channel, which means something different, obviously, here in Portugal. It's not sick as in cool man or sick as in vomitous, like the guy on the coach. What would you have done if you'd been on the coach yesterday with me? Peter, we see you on Portuguese telly right there. As I was getting on the coach, and very cheerful coach driver, I showed him my QR code like you do. 11.50 euros from San Martino to Lisbon, and takes about an hour and 10. Fantastic journey. However, as I was getting on the coach, a young gentleman said, "Desculpa," and pushed past me and the driver and then vomited in the gutter. Sorry if you're having your breakfast. And then he got back on and he walked past and then sat behind me. So I'm thinking, oh, that's awkward. Do I move just in case he comes over all queer or funny again? Actually, that's a very old-fashioned turn of phrase. Coming over all queer is used to mean you were feeling a little bit ill. If he felt nauseous again, I was thinking that's going to end up on the back of my head. Should I move? Should I turn round and start an awkward conversation in Portuguese? Like, are you all right, mate? And I didn't do either of those. I just sat where I was and hoped for the best. And he was okay, to be fair. And I was hoping that he was hungover and it was nothing more serious than that. Right. I love to visit Lisbon, says Pam. We will come to rare earth minerals, although we should keep it quiet. Gemini Bradshaw also here this morning. Good morning to you, Gemini. We love Porto Airport. It is lovely up there. Yeah, I have used that once. Also known as Francisco Sacaneiro Airport. I think Faro is the worst airport in Portugal, isn't it? In terms of getting congested and busy and not as nice to be in as Porto and Portela, Humberto Delgado Airport in Lisbon, has been recognised as the best European airport in its category by the Airport Council International, the ACI. Nice one. Has anyone else got lots of blossoms? We saw early cherry in Tokyo and came home to millions of flowers. Talking of the Far East, good morning. He's in the building and came home to millions of flowers and beautiful peach and plum blossom. Who doesn't like a bit of peach and plum blossom? Sounds like Cockney rhyming slang, doesn't it? What about, thank you, what about the 4 minerals found in Portugal yesterday? Yes, Deagle, I'm going to talk about that, but let's do that quietly. Bom dia, Gumpers, from James. Feliz Quinta, todos como estão? Tudo bem? Bom dia from Sarah Yeoman. Bom dia from Carl Hyde. And don't move seats on the bus. I didn't sat in my, thank you. I didn't sat in my legal seat, my official seat. And thank goodness I didn't, because I think I would have been next to the man who was feeling sick. I'd have had to sit right next to him, which would not be a good look. Oh, okay. Casamaster, Sarah Lowe. We'll come back to that. We're just scanning your. He's limbering up. You're all right, chap. You've got this. You've got this. Right. Very quickly then, before we go to the Portuguese, let's have a look at the rare earth minerals that have been found in Portugal. And as I say, keep this to yourself, because you know what happens if your country's got rare earth minerals. Funny things can happen. Funny things can go on. Portugal news then. Yes, Portuguese are giving me a nod on that. Maybe we'll talk about that on Monday, Portuguese. Rare minerals, not bare minerals. Rare minerals have potential to transform Portugal. 4 rare deposits. Who doesn't like a rare deposit first thing in the morning? Were discovered in Portugal that could change the... Oh... Please stop giggling. I'm trying to do a serious news item here. Rare deposits have been identified in Portugal, which could position the country as a strategic protagonist. Oh, God. It's like playing Risk, and transform the national and European future. The relevance of rare... Are we being... I don't know, what's the word? Is this a sort of PR puff to alert us to the direction of travel of the country? Are we being sort of briefed here? For a PSYOP, the relevance of rare minerals in the development of cutting-edge technologies has been gaining prominence globally. Until now, the focus has been on regions like Ukraine, obviously, or market-dominant powers like China. However, 4 rare deposits have been identified in Portugal. These discoveries could position Portugal as a strategic player in this scenario, with the potential to transform the future of the country and Europe. According to Mining Watch Portugal, I don't know. Do you get that? Are you a subscriber to Mining Watch Portugal? I've got all their back. He's cool. From 1968. He sits on the toilet and has a smoke and reads Mining Watch Portugal. Give it 5 minutes. An independent network monitoring the extractive industry in the country, cited El Economista. The Alentejo is home to at least 4 rare earth deposits near the border with Extremadura. These reserves are located in Monteforte. This is everyone checking their back garden now. Monteforte, Tinoca, Asumar, Crato Aronche, and Penedo Gordo. In the case of Montfort, Iberian resources. We're going into the long grass here, aren't we? It's getting a bit technical and deep. However, just letting you know, that there are some rare earth minerals here in Portugal. And as well as suggesting we might keep quiet about it, I've just told everybody, the whole world, right there here on the Good Morning Portugal show. I'm guessing the Portuguese will have something to say about this. Don't move seats on the bus, as Confucius once said. Let's give him a nice big round of applause and bring him onto the screen. Olá, bom dia.
Hey, bom dia, muy amigos.
Okay, hola. Don't forget to subscribe. This is one of your videos. You don't have to tell everybody to subscribe, okay?
Oh yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Where am I?
Where am I? Well, I just wanted to say something.